وما ولد لقد خلقنا الإنسان في كبد أيحسب أن لن يقدر عليه أحد يقول أهلكت مالا لبدا أيحسب أن لم يره أحد ألم نجعل له عينين ولسانا وشفتين وهديناه النجدين فلاقتحم العقبة وما أدراك ما العقبة فك رقبة أو إطعام في يوم ذي مسغبة يتيما ذا مقربة أو مسكينا ذا متربة ثم كان من الذين آمنوا وتواصوا بالصبر وتواصوا بالمرحمة أولئك أصحاب الميمنة والذين كفروا بآياتنا هم أصحاب المشأمة عليهم نار مؤصدة صدق الله العلي العظيم.
اللهم صل على أفاق مالك Come on. Give 10 minutes. For a second. Yeah. How far? What? Right.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث صدق الله العلي العظيم.
سلامتیشون صلوات اللهم صل علی محمد و آل محمد. برادر علی اکبر تشریف بیارید. نه اینا خوندن که شما تشریف بیارید. 7 دقیقه وقت داریم. برای سلامتی آقا علی اکبر هم صلوات اللهم صل علی محمد و آل محمد.
پس من برگردم میگم شما میخوام تحقیق بخونم.
صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى والضحى والليل إذا سجى والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى. ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك إن مع العسر يسرا الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب إلى ربك فارغب فإذا فرغت فانصب فإذا فرغت فانصب إلى ربك فارغب صدق الله العلي العظيم صلوات
Assalamu alaikum. Moulana is running a little bit late, so inshallah we'll start in 5 to 10 minutes. Thank you. Salawat Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
صلوات. زندہ میں سکینہ نے سرے شے کو سنایا، ہم قید ہیں بابا، ہم قید ہیں بابا، پیرا در زندہ پہ حاکم نے بٹھایا، ہم قید ہیں بابا، ہم قید ہیں بابا، پہلے میرے کانوں سے گوہر شمر نے چینے، جو تم نے دیے تھے، جو تم نے دیے تھے، سیلی میرے رخسار نازک پہ لگائی، میں خون میں نہائی، میں خون میں نہائی، سب چاہنے والے ہیں میرے آپ کے ہمراہ، یا سید ریجا، یا سید ریجا، عباس چچا ہے نا بھائی نے بچایا، ہم قید ہیں بابا، ہم قید ہیں بابا، بابا مجھے تم ساتھی اپنے لیے جاؤ، پھر آؤ نہ آؤ، پھر آؤ نہ آؤ، زندان میں مشکل سے ہم نے تمہیں پایا، ہم قید ہیں بابا، ہم قید ہیں بابا، اللہم صلی اللہ.
صلوات.
کیا رہا خیموں میں شہ کے ایک اداسی رہ گئی، کیا رہا خیموں میں شہ کے ایک اداسی رہ گئی، کیا رہا خیموں میں شہ کے ایک اداسی رہ گئی، کیا رہا خیموں میں شہ کے ایک اداسی رہ گئی، صرف رونے کو محمد کی نواسی رہ گئی، صرف رونے کو محمد کی نواسی رہ گئی، سج گئی قاسم کے ٹکڑوں سے ادھر کے بوبلا، سج گئی قاسم کے ٹکڑوں سے ادھر کے بوبلا، ماں در بیٹے کی دلہن کو سجاتی رہ گئی. کیا رہا خیموں میں شہ کے ایک اداسی رہ گئی. چھینتا تھا شمر چادر اور زینب بار بار. چھینتا تھا شمر چادر اور زینب بار بار. اپنی چادر کے محافظ کو بلاتی رہ گئی. اپنی چادر کے محافظ کو بلاتی رہ گئی. خون دل عباس کا سب بہ گیا رن میں مگر. خون دل عباس کا سب بہ گیا رن میں مگر. دل میں بس ایک بات زینب کی ردا کی رہ گئی. کیا رہا خیموں میں شہ کے ایک اداسی رہ گئی. اے مسلمانوں تمہاری غیرت کیا مر گئی. اے مسلمانوں تمہاری غیرت کیا مر گئی. تم تماشائی تھے زینب منہ چھپاتی رہ گئی. تم تماشائی تھے زینب منہ چھپاتی رہ گئی. قید میں بالی سکینہ کو ملا بابا کا سر. قید میں بالی سکینہ کو ملا بابا کا سر. منہ پہ منہ رکھ کے جو سوئی ماں جگاتی رہ گئی. منہ پہ منہ رکھ کے جو سوئی ماں جگاتی رہ گئی. خون دل عباس کا سب بہ گیا رن میں مگر. خون دل عباس کا سب بہ گیا رن میں مگر. دل میں بس ایک بات زینب کی ردا کی رہ گئی. کیا رہا خیموں میں شہ کے ایک اداسی رہ گئی. چھینتا تھا شمر چادر اور زینب بار بار. چھینتا تھا شمر چادر اور زینب بار بار. اپنی چادر کے محافظ کو بلاتی رہ گئی. کیا رہا خیموں میں شہ کے ایک اداسی رہ گئی. کیا رہا خیموں میں شہ کے ایک اداسی رہ گئی. صلوات.
صلوات.
غربت میں قتل ہو گیا مظلوم بے وطن. میں بھائی بھائی کہتی تھی لاشا بہن بہن. غربت میں قتل ہو گیا مظلوم بے وطن. میں بھائی بھائی کہتی تھی لاشا بہن بہن. تیروں پہ تھا رکھا ہوا لاشا حسین کا. ڈوبا ہوا لہو میں تھا کرتا حسین کا. آواز تھی حسین کی بہنا کفن کفن. میں بھائی بھائی کہتی تھی لاشا بہن بہن. آئی ناراس دو گھڑی پردیس کی فضا. کنبا شہید ہو گیا میرا گھر اجڑ گیا. پردیس دیس غیر کا اپنا وطن وطن. میں بھائی بھائی کہتی تھی لاشا بہن بہن. ایک دل پہ داغ میں نے بہتے اٹھا لیے. کچھ داغ میں نے قلب کے اندر چھپا لیے. چھپتے نہیں چھپانے سے داغ رسن رسن. میں بھائی بھائی کہتی تھی لاشا بہن بہن. دیکھا ہے بابا میں نے جو منظر بتاؤں کیا. نیزوں پہ تھا رکھا ہوا سر ہے شہید کا. گھوڑوں کے دوڑنے سے تھا ٹکڑے بدن بدن. میں بھائی بھائی کہتی تھی لاشا بہن بہن. قاسم کی لاش لائے تھے دامن میں شاہدی. صحرے سے بے نیاز تھی نوشاد کی جبی. ایک شب بھی رہ نہ پائے نہ جسے کی دلہن دلہن میں بھائی بھائی کہتی تھی لاشا بہن بہن برچی کلے جائے علی اکبر میں جب لگی بابا کو دی صدا کبھی آواز مجھ کو دی کہتا تھا سینہ تھام کے اماں چبن چبن میں بھائی بھائی کہتی تھی لاشا بہن بہن میں بھائی بھائی کہتی تھی لاشا بہن بہن میں بھائی بھائی کہتی تھی لاشا بہن بہن صلوات
Assalamu alaikum. MashaAllah, it's great to see everyone here commemorating and remembering. Can we, inshallah, as a family and community, get a little bit closer? I think we're a little spread out, so with a loud salawat, if we can all move up and get closer, it'd be great. I know everyone can get closer. We're a family here, right? MashaAllah. I'd like to begin by introducing Moulana Muhammad Baig. As you can see on the slide, from 1998 to 1992, he studied in Medina, New York. From 1992 on, he went to Qum. After studying there until the year 2000, he came back to the U.S. and served the communities in Florida, particularly Tampa and Orlando. And then in 2009, he established the Imam Ali Islamic Seminary, which we also have a slide about. And it's currently moved to the LA area, I think Victorville, is that correct? And as you can see on the slide, it's a 2 to 4 year Islamic studies program. It prepares students from here, the West, right now in California, to be able to go to Hausa. It sounds like an amazing opportunity. If you'd like to learn more about it, you can go to imamaliseminary.com, or feel free to message us, and inshallah we can provide the proper information. And without further ado, if you can please invite the Moulana up with a loud salawat.
سورة الفاتحة. حسبنا الله نعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين سيما بقية الله الأعظم روحي وأرواح العالمين له الفدا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Every year when we come back in this month of Muharram and revisit Karbala and we revisit Imam Hussein, and we do it with a renewed passion and a fervor that always rises up and becomes stronger than before. And our wanting and wishing to do more for Imam Hussein also increases. And this, when we actually look at ourselves doing it, we hear, alhamdulillah, that this fervor, and obviously there are reasons behind it, but our passion is true. And we are proof of it itself. We don't need another proof. You all are proof to yourself that this passion, I cannot deny it. I can't deny the fact that there is this sort of emotion that I feel that brings me closer and wants me to do more for Imam Hussein. Now, as we learn every year more and more about Imam Hussein, and we want to do that because the more we do, we see there's a lot more for us to learn. It's an unending ocean of faith, of spirituality, of knowledge, that no matter how far a person goes to, and how far a person goes down in, he will never reach the bottom of it. And that's the way it actually is. And that's the reality behind Karbala, and that's the reality behind Ashura. But when we come to speeches, and this is my own experience I'm talking, no one else's, whenever I, as a youngster, used to come to speeches and this and that, I would listen to the speeches every year in Muharram and this and that, and it usually sounded like a broken record that you're hearing the same thing again and again and again and again. Not the history part, but what Imam Hussein stood for part. And it's as if the same lesson is being repeated without more lessons being learned or us going further into it. It's as if some people are happy with some lessons and they want to now take that lesson and drive it and milk it as much as they can without having to go deeper into it. My friends, Karbala and Imam Hussein has been emphasized by all our Imams. In fact, in every occasion, that is an occasion of Eid or celebration, or any other occasion that we find that's important in Islam, we see that the Imams have emphasized to us that remember Hussein at that time. If it's Eid al-Adha, remember Hussein. If it's Eid al-Fitr, remember Hussein. If it's Eid al-Ghadir, remember Hussein. Every important occasion, read the ziyarat of Imam Hussein. Every important thing, go to and visit Imam Hussein in Karbala. Go to Karbala. All of this emphasis, when we look at that, there's a reason behind it. It's not that he was a favorite. It's the fact that all the Imams want to teach Islam. All of them wanted to teach Islam. And hence, in teaching Islam, my friends, and when they taught Islam, most of them had different opportunities, different circumstances to teach Islam. Some of them had a chance to teach Islam clearly. Some of them did not have a chance to teach Islam clearly. So what happened is that when you looked at all the Imams, and the history of all the Imams, and the circumstance of all the Imams, you see that the circumstance that Imam Hussein found himself in, he had the chance to teach Islam in the most clearest fashion and with the best lens by which people can see Islam with a clarity that they cannot see with Imam Ali or Imam Hassan or even Imam Jafar as-Sadiq alayhi salam. So when you're looking at Islam, let's say you are going for an eye test and you're looking at those numbers and letters that are there on the wall, and that, let's say, is Islam. So now what happens is that the Imams now want to focus your attention on Islam so you can actually see that Islam that's there. So what happened is that because of the circumstances, they put the best lens for you in order for you to see Islam clearly. Now, because of the circumstances, sometimes that lens is blurred. Not because the Imams weren't able to teach it, but because the circumstances didn't allow them to teach Islam clearly. So when you look at Imam Ali, you have the Muslim people confused. Confused of what? Of not knowing who was right, Imam Ali or Muawiyah. They were confused. Now obviously you're like, astaghfirullah, how can that be? There's such a clear decision, this and that. It wasn't. Really, it wasn't at that time. You might think right now, being a Shia, how can we not accept Imam Ali, this and that? Well, it wasn't that easy. And hence, you see, because of the circumstances, people didn't know the truth that well, that clearly. Now, with all the rest of the Imams, the same thing happened. So when Imam Hussein's, that circumstances came, and everything, the stars aligned in such a way, the destinies aligned in such a way, that Imam Hussein had the chance to teach Islam in the most clearest, visible, and easiest manner, that a person who can come to Imam Hussein can take Islam without any doubt, without any sort of blurred vision, without any sort of ambiguity. So now my friends, understand this. If you understood that point, that Imam Hussein had the chance to teach Islam in the best manner, no other Imam had the chance to teach Islam in that manner. That's the way that Imam Hussein thought. And that's why all the Imams emphasize, go to Hussein and learn Islam there. Learn Islam in Karbala. Learn Islam in Ashura. Right? So Imam Hussein had the best chance. Now, if that is the case, tell me. This is the question I want to ask you, and I haven't even touched the subject of the speech yet. I'm just giving this as an introduction to why I'm going into this subject. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. When Imam Hussein had the chance to teach Islam in the easiest way, the clearest way, my question to you is, with that opportunity that Imam Hussein had, the chance that Imam Hussein had, did he teach some of Islam or did he teach all of Islam? Knowing that no other Imam will have this chance right now. The chance that I have right now. Did he teach some of Islam or did he teach all of Islam? What would logic say? That if imamat is one character, in that character, Islam is shown in the most clearest way, won't you teach all of Islam right then and there, so that anyone who comes to Hussein can learn all of Islam? Subhanallah. My friends, from here it becomes clear. Imam Hussein taught all of Islam in Karbala. Everything that you need to know in Islam is taught in Karbala. You don't need to go anywhere else to get it. You can get it in Karbala. And if all of Islam is taught in Karbala, then why is it that we only learn a few things about Imam Hussein? My friends, the reason I say this to you is because a lot of times we need to go a little bit deeper, start looking differently and approach differently the subject of Karbala in order to learn the umpteen millions of lessons that are hidden in it for us, because those lessons are meant for us in order that we are ready for our Imam, that we are ready to be in Karbala. That's what the idea is. I'm just saying these things because of the fact that it's your wish also. What is one wish that you have as a Shia? As a Shia, what is that one wish that you have? That you should have. If you don't have it, you should have it. And you say it, and you testify to it, and you say it as a wish. Ya laytani kuntu ma'akum. That's a wish, right? I wish I was with you, Hussein. Isn't that your wish? That should be your wish if you're not. So if that's your wish, now the issue is that how do you get there? How do you get there? And this is what we want, why we are going into different subjects here. We need to go into different subjects and really define Imam Hussein in a more deeper manner than we usually do. Have you seen the way that we hand out flyers at the julus? I'm sure everyone has some sort of a julus here and there. I don't know if you have it there. I've seen many of these, right? And the flyers that they give out to introduce Imam Hussein, right, over there. And sometimes I see those flyers and what they're writing about Imam Hussein, right? I said, when you read anything about Imam Hussein, there is a love that you have for Hussein that's in your heart, that every word that is written about him, you read 1,000 lines in between those lines, right? And it impresses you. But someone who has no clue who Imam Hussein is not impressed by that. Yes, I was, stopped at a gas station, and it was in Florida. Someone, redneck, actually came up to me in the back and said, "So, who is Hussein?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "In the back of your car." I was driving my dad's car. He had one of those "Who's Hussein" flyer on the back. And so he asked the question, "Who's Hussein?" I said, "Well, didn't you pay attention? It's who'shussein.org. Right? Did you go there and check?" "Oh, no, man, I'm just kidding." I said, "No, let's check it out, right? Let's check it out." I have never been to that website also. So I said, "All right, let's go and check it." So we both, started looking up the website and came up, and there the introduction of Imam Hussein is being given, and Imam Hussein is being introduced to the world that just read this and get impressed by it, right? So right away it starts like Imam Hussein is the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad, and he's the third Imam of the Shias, and he went with his family and friends to Karbala, and he was killed over there. He was oppressed and killed, thirsty and hungry. And really, literally, that redneck who's next to me, I'm reading it for him right there, and we're reading together. He says, "So what? I'm not impressed." And that's it. So that's your introduction. That's who Imam Hussein is for. That's your marifat of Hussein that you're giving to the people, that people should be impressed by this. This is that love, that light that has brought millions of people towards him and have made them crazy about him. That's the introduction we're giving. Even if you just give your testimony and say that, what? Who's Hussein to me? He's the one who gave me life. Really, this life, this passion, this love, this love for life that you have right now, look at it as a mu'min, as a Shia. Who gave this to you? You look deep inside there and you'll see that this is Hussein who has given it to you. But we never look at Imam Hussein that way. Who's Imam Hussein to you? He's the grandson of the Prophet. He's this, he's that. And when you're like, that's not impressive. Any person can give his life for his cause. We see many people doing that every day. People give their lives for their cause. That's not something impressive. And this is why we need to now really go a little bit deeper to see who really this Imam Hussein is, who has captured the lives and the hearts of millions of people all over the world, and they are so crazy about him that they would go to any lengths just to come and visit him and say salam to him. Who is this person? My friends, this is where we need to get a little bit deeper in our understanding. And that's why what I'm saying right now, and what we want to discuss right now, and what we started yesterday, is the subject of art. Why is art important in Islam? Why am I even talking about this? And there we started off by saying that first of all, Allah is beautiful. Beauty is one of the names of Allah, the qualities of Allah, and hence He has made beauty a part of our nature, of our fitrat. We like to be beautiful. We like to look good. But then it is in our nature. And it's one of our needs also. It's regarded as a need. And then Allah says that He has made Islam beautiful. وَحَبَّبَ إِلَيْكُمُ الْإِيمَانِ. Allah says in the Quran, He says what? That He has made Islam and faith beautiful, attractive, endearing. When you look at Islam, you fall in love with it. That's how Allah has made Islam. So if you get Islam, you're attracted. It's an attractive thing. And if you hear something that's not attractive, it can be anything else, but it cannot be Islam. It can be its uncle, mother-in-law, father-in-law, whatever. But it's not Islam. Because Islam is beautiful. Islam is attractive. And hence it appeals to our sense of beauty. And we were talking about the importance of this. Why beauty? And I explained that even the enemies recognize that the strength of Islam is in the fact that they emphasize beauty. They emphasize attraction. And they attract people by making themselves beautiful. It is something that is encouraged in Islam. And hence, in order to make them weak, take this idea away from them, make them look shabby and ugly, and you will see that people will start leaving Islam. They will not even come close to Islam. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. My friends, really, making oneself look good and beautiful is something that is not only encouraged in Islam, but it is a requirement. It's necessary to carry out our responsibilities that I'm going to be talking about. And this has now become to our subject. Let me begin that if you all send a salawats. You know, when it comes to human beings and their fundamental and basic needs, there's a hierarchy of needs. Philosophers, psychologists have listed out lists of things that human beings need. For example, they need water. They need air. It's a need. They need, for example, shelter. It's a need. They need self-respect, dignity. It's a need. Now, obviously, these needs that are there, different needs that are there, are listed differently by different people according to what they think is more important. What they regarded, they did their surveys of so many people and, research, whatever they did, they thought about it and they made a list of things that are needs. Now when you look at those needs, right, the need for life-saving sustenance, you would think it's important, right? Is that important? We need air? Okay, so we can't do without air, so we can rank it up there high, right? How about shelter? How many of us can live without shelter? In fact, it's so important for us, all our efforts and work that we do here every day, getting up in the morning, and that is to avoid becoming homeless. Right? Lest one day I become homeless and you found me at the side of the Golden Gate Bridge, hey, we're afraid of that. So it makes us get up in the morning and go to work. We don't want to be homeless, right? And a lot of people, especially if you live in this area, Silicon Valley, where the rents are so exaggerated and high, that, you don't take or get a little bit of that rent money, then you're gone. Well, you wouldn't go out on the street, you'll have to move to LA. God help you on that, right? But usually it happens. So you can say that shelter is a need. Clothing is a need, right? That's why, for example, in welfare and all these people, they do clothing first, right? It's a need. Understand that. So all of these are a need. You understand that. Now, there's one need that everyone says it's a need, and that is the need to look good. The need to look good, the need to look decent and attractive is a need that we have. Everyone says it's a need, but they rank it way down there. They say, well, once I get a house and once I get all these things in check and all these things are checked off, then I can, spend some money I have on looking good. Maybe I'll get a decent haircut. Or, I can buy some decent clothes. But until I can't get my rent down, I'm going to avoid these things. Right? This is how we usually think, right? In the hierarchy of needs, the need of beauty comes all the way down, my friends. It's all the way down. It's not up there. It's all the way down in most of our minds and in our hearts. We're not going to spend money. In fact, if you go out and spend a lot of your money in buying something that is a luxury, when you have needs, people will call you irresponsible. Right? That is so irresponsible. Childish behavior. You spend your rent money on what? On buying these things? Wow. My friends, this is the way it is. People really, when they come to the idea of beauty, it really comes way down in our list. That's the reason why, for example, have you ever seen an immigrant in any of this art museum? I'm sure there's an art museum in San Francisco somewhere, right? Have you seen one of the Desi guys goes up there, and say that, where are you? I spend my day at the art museum, admiring art. You say that to one of the people here, they'll be looking at you and say, something's wrong with him. Are you okay? How are things back home? Are you okay with your wife and everything, man? Why would you do that, right? Because to them it doesn't make sense. You're spending time on what? On art? Well, you can be doing something more useful and productive. For us, that notion of anything that has to do with beauty is something that is unproductive. This is the view that we have. And really, we live with that. Everything that we do is based on that. Can you imagine if, for example, as I said yesterday, your son comes to you, or someone in the community, youngster, you ask him, so what major are you doing in college? He says, I'm majoring in art. I told you, he'll get two things: free advice and a small lecture about how not to waste your life. Right? That's what he does, because that's how we think about art and beauty. That's what we think about it. Now, my friends, I just raised this up for you in order that we understand the main issue at heart and why we are truly lagging behind in so many things. And that's where we want to get to. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Now, a lot of people, after speeches and this and that, they criticize me, or say things like, hey, Moulana, you said all these things, but, you didn't say any hadith or this and that. Where are you getting this all things from? Trust me, guys, I'm not bringing it from myself, right? So, just in case that you have a doubt, right, let me read a hadith for you in order that I can dispel those doubts and we can actually get into the subject, all right? And then try to understand the subject in order to say that. Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wassalam. In one of the hadiths, right? Many hadiths, but one of the hadiths, it says, At-tajammul min akhlaq al-mu'mineen. He says, looking good is from the akhlaq and ethics of a mu'min, a believer. If you want to know a believer, one of the qualities you will see in a mu'min is that he always wants to look good. No matter what he does. He always wants to look good. Right? Before he does anything, he will ask, okay, I'm going to do this thing. How am I looking? This is the akhlaq of a believer. He says, this is how he thinks. This is how he views things. And how he goes on about in his life. Subhanallah. Well, my friends, if a person just does what is productive for him, meaning he eats food, he finds shelter, he does this, and does not go after the need of beauty. Look at this, beauty. He just, shelter, food, water, these things he takes care of, but he doesn't look after beauty. You know what it is? Isn't this what all animals are doing? All animals are looking after their food, their shelter, their livelihood, right? Even their desires. But the one need that animals don't go after is beauty. The one need that they do not go after is beauty. And hence the one that we human beings, what makes us a human being in terms of needs is that we go after beauty other than all these needs. This is what makes us human. Otherwise, if we don't go after it, then we'll be just like animals, living like animals. See that? Understand this. My friends, this is, when we look at it yourself. Obviously I'm saying this, but you need to think about it in order to actually grasp the meaning behind it. Really, all animals do all these other needs. The only thing that they don't go after people, no animal goes on and says, okay, all right, cat, how am I looking, You only see that in cartoons and movies. You don't see it in real life, I just saw a cat at home, and he was walking around, showing me his things, and I'm like, man, you don't care, do you? Of course you don't. But if you were human in any way, you would. Right? You would. And this is, my friends, where we really become human. Now, what does Islam say about this? Beauty. You know what Islam says? All other people who line up and make a hierarchy of needs, they rank beauty at the end. Islam's view about beauty is that in spite of having every other need for air, need for water, need for shelter, need for dignity, need for respect, need for life, need for justice, all of these needs are there. Even if you have those needs, before that you should go after the need of beauty. Think about it. And you're like, wow, what are we doing? What kind of view should we have? Meaning that I haven't paid my rent yet. You think that I should be thinking about luxuries? About making myself look good? Wow. Can we make that decision? Would we call that a responsible decision? Or do you think that this is really irresponsible, something completely wrong, and we can't teach these things to our children, because if our children start doing that, then lo and behold, what will happen? Right? Then we'll stop being mediocre. And God help us if we stop being mediocre. SubhanAllah. This is how we start to think. My friends, now let me give you an example, right? Who should we follow in this? Whose example should we follow? Is Rasulullah a good example? Should we go to him and say, how did you do it? What would you do? What did you do? Ask the messenger, what did you do? How was your lifestyle? How did you divide your money and your income into different things? My friends, you know this. I will tell you, and then you can equate your life with the Prophet's life and see where he was headed and where we are headed. It is said that Rasulullah, the messenger of Allah, the best example for us, the most beautiful person on earth, he would spend 1/3 of his income on perfumes. 1/3 of his income. We can't even spend 1/3 of our savings on perfumes or any of those luxuries. We're talking about income, not savings. He spent 1/3 of his income to look good. That's how important looking good is for the Prophet. That's his life. That's how he lived his life. That's the person he was. He liked looking good. 1/3 of his income he spent. Can you imagine yourself spending that much money? I mean, we, in order to buy a perfume, will check every one of them. First of all, we'll use the free ones, free samples. all of them as much as we can, so that when we give the money for one that we are going to buy, we can say, it was well spent, spend that money, I use that money up, and there. That'll show them to raise the prices on perfumes. And that's how we feel when we buy a perfume. That's how I'm feeling. And that too, when we take it back home, we're like, regarding us, saying, okay, don't use that much of it, don't use this much. And here we see Rasulullah spending 1/3 of his income on the average income. Do we want to learn from Rasulullah or not? That's the question to ask. And this is where we really come and says, what was he thinking? What was he thinking? It's not just Rasulullah. Inshallah, I'll give you the example of Imam Hussein also at the end. Understand his example there also. But this is the way it is, my friend. How important beauty is for the Prophet and Ahlul Bayt. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. My friends, when we think about anything, Islam or non-Islam, there are different perspectives that people used to think about anything, about buying a car. You see a lot of people, they buy a car based on what? Do they buy a car based on looks? Or do they buy a car based on reliability? What kind of a person are you? What kind of person? Are you a mu'min? Because a mu'min is someone who looks at a car and says, nah man, I'm not going to look good in that one. I want something that makes me look good. Right? Well, here it is. Sometimes we need to look at that and say, how am I thinking? I'm saying which car to buy and all these things. That's not important. The important thing is, how do I think? What idea do I take and use in my mind to live my life? Do I look at things from the perspective of beauty, or do I look at things from the perspective of reasoning and logic? My friends, if you take Islam and if you take the logic of Islam and the reasoning of Islam and start to call the people towards Islam, I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Before logic and reasoning in Islam, what's important is the beauty in Islam. That's why Allah did not say, hey, did you see the logic in my religion? Allah did not say, did you see the reasoning in my religion? Faith is logical, isn't it? Allah didn't say that. You know what Allah is saying? لَكِنَّ اللَّهَ حَبَّبَ إِلَيْكُمُ الْإِيمَانِ. Hey, do you see the beauty in my religion? You see how beautiful it is? Wow, Allah is saying that. He's saying that this is what deen is. Look at deen this way. Don't look at it from the point of view of being logical and reasoning. That all comes later. First, you need to approach Islam from the point of view of beauty, and then the logic and reasoning will come. If you don't approach it from the point of view of beauty, my friends, you will have Islam, you will have a version of Islam that doesn't inspire you and doesn't put passion in your life and heart. That's why if you look at your prayers and you see that I'm not passionate about it, then you are praying not because it's beautiful, you're praying because it's wajib. If fasting to you is not something that is truly arousing your emotions, then you're not fasting because of its beauty, you're fasting because it's a burden on you and you have to do it anyway. Everything in Islam, you see, if you approach it from the point of view of logic and reasoning, it'll take your inspiration away from you. It'll take your passion away from you. Allah never wanted you to come like that towards Islam. Allah didn't want you to think that, Allah, I made it wajib on you and you better pray, otherwise you're going to go to hell. That's not a good way to approach Islam. Because what happens when you approach Islam like that, you lose that passion inside of you for it, and you'll see afterwards, you are just going to get dry, and you'll dry up and wither away. And then you ask that person, what's going on, brother? How are you doing nowadays? You don't look like, I don't see you nowadays. Oh, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, I'm so all right. But, and you see that, wow, this brother's like, one time that brother used to be so excited. He used to be like bouncing up and down. He was like ready to, just, be with Imam right now. And now you see him, he's like, gone. What happened? My friends, because of the fact that he was practicing Islam and his Islam was not based on beauty. He didn't approach it like that. You know how he approached it? He approached it in the wrong way. By being a burden, wajib and all these things. And this is, my friends, how we need to now look at different things in Islam. Let me tell you how Allah teaches Islam. How Allah teaches Islam, right? Send the salawats. Backbiting, ghibat, is a bad thing. It's a sin. Right? Allah has mentioned in the Quran, it is haram for anyone to backbite a mu'min. Right? Backbiting, meaning to say something about someone that is true. Now let me put it better for you to understand ghibat better, right? What ghibat is. Ghibat means to speak about a sinner, about his sin that he has done truthfully. Okay. Wow. The guy is a criminal. He did a crime. And you are honestly saying what he has done. Allah says it's haram. Now you might be asking, well, how is that, this and that? Well, as I said, that was my random sentence of the day. Right? That's for you to find out and think about later. I'm not going to speak about that. But Allah made ghibat haram, right? He made backbiting haram. So now as He made it haram, how does He do it? How does He do it? Does He appeal to our sense of reasoning and says that if you do it, this will be the consequences and this and that? What does He appeal to? How does He introduce it and make it look bad for us? Haram for us. He says, don't backbite. Do you want to eat the flesh of your dead brother? That sentence is so ugly at so many levels. Right? Look at that, First, cannibalism. Right? That itself is ugly. 2, of your own brother. Someone that you know. Right? In fact, you're eating the flesh of someone that you know and love, and that itself is repulsive. You see that? Allah is doing what? He is making ghibat haram, but He's introducing it by appealing to your sense of beauty. He says, don't go near it. It's ugly. It'll make you look ugly. It'll make you look ugly if you do this. Because even if you say something like that, it's ugly. Some things are just ugly. You don't do that. And hence, Allah is appealing to our sense of beauty. That's why you see how Islam is given to us is by appealing to our sense of beauty, that we look at it and say, is this making me beautiful or is this making me ugly? How is it making me look? This, my friends, is how Islam is given. And when we approach Islam like that, it becomes passionable for us. It arouses passions in us. It makes us emotional. It makes us really, wow, I want to look good. It's a need that I have. I want to look good. And that's why Rasulullah, every time that he used to find something where he could look at his reflection, a mirror or water, any place he could find a place where he can look at his reflection, right away he starts combing his hair. That's his habit. He's walking by a mirror, he's like, all right, 1 minute, right there, coming. And you'll be like, what is that? If a mu'min does that, you'll be like, where's your taqwa? This is just dunya. Leave the dunya. What are you talking about? Try to teach that to Rasulullah. I mean, really, there's a way of life that Rasulullah and Ahlul Bayt have shown us, and an attitude that they have shown us. And when we approach Islam with that attitude, we see that Islam becomes something that is so personable and so exciting that not only are we not going to leave it, we are going to go on with it, because every day that we approach it, we are having fun and we are enjoying it at the same time. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Well, my friends, this is the importance of beauty. That's what I want to speak to you about. Beauty. And the reason I said about beauty is this, my friends. Because beauty and looking good is a need that we have, and something that Allah encouraged us. Not only encouraged us, but you see the way of life of the Prophet. Now, when we come to this beauty that we have, that we like, and we look at these things, beautiful things, we want to take that beauty. Now, a lot of people appreciate beauty. It's not that, people don't appreciate beauty. If they see something beautiful, it is awe-inspiring. Have you been to the Grand Canyon? Right? I mean, yes, you go there. I don't care who you are, but the first time you do look at it, you can't lie to me and say that you were not overwhelmed by that. Yeah, it's a hole in the ground. Afterwards, you realize it. It's just a hole in the ground, but, it is a big hole. Right? And it's just awe-inspiring. It's looking, wow, looking at that, it is there. So when we look at something that is beautiful, we do admire it. There's no doubt about it that we do admire it. Anything that you look at, the masjid, or a good chandelier, or a carpet, or a rug, or a nice clean home. When you enter a nice clean home, or for example a nice masjid where everything is clean and order, then you're like, wow, this is nice. Just that initial feeling that you have is of admiration. And I'm not saying something wild or way out there in left field. I'm saying something that you can testify with your own lives. You feel like that. Now, just walk into, for example, a dirty house and walk into a clean house, and you'll see the difference. It feels different. So what happened is that we all admire beauty. But here's the question, my friends. Everyone can admire it, but who can take that beauty and relate it and give it to other people? Who can do that? Someone who can take beauty, see beauty, and take it to and give it to the next person, relate it there. Who can do that? That sort of a person is called an artist. And that quality is called art. What is art? Art is first seeing beauty, recognizing it, and then giving it in a way that others can recognize it also. Now you know what art is. Who's an artist? When we say, wow, my kid he's very artistic. What does that mean? He can take something beautiful and he can relate it to the people in such a way that they can see the beauty that he's seeing. From here, I will just leave you with one sentence, and that's it for today. One sentence I'll leave you with, and that's it for today, my friends. This is it. My friends, you saw something beautiful. And that's what made, you admire beauty. You saw something that other people didn't. You saw something beautiful in Karbala, and you got attracted to it. You got attracted to it. Many people will get attracted to Imam Hussein. But is there anyone who can really see that beauty and then give that beauty to others, that they can see the same beauty that he's seeing? Can someone be an artist? Who can do that? Who can see this beauty and give it to others? Who has that ability? When Imam Hussein said, Hal min nasir, is there anyone who can help me? How are you going to help Imam Hussein? Bring him water? Friends, no. Do you see his beauty? Can you relate this beauty to others? Can you do that? Do you have it in you? Are you artistic? My friends, from here you understand that only if you have the sense of art and the talent of art that you can be a helper of Imam Hussein. You can be a helper of Imam Hussein. Otherwise, yes, I see the video, but when I talk to others, others run away from Imam Hussein. I don't even know how to talk to them. Okay, relax. Increase this ability. We'll talk about it tomorrow, how you can do that. Increase this ability. Increase this talent that everyone has. You recognize beauty, that is proven by your sitting down in this majlis. Now you just need to increase this talent in you that you're able to take this and give it to the world. This is it. And we end up over here. You know, many people came to Karbala late. They didn't arrive on time. They wanted to help Imam Hussein. They came late. You know, and they met the prisoners. They met Bibi Zainab. They met Imam Sajjad, those who came late. And obviously, they weren't in time. You know the one advice that they were given? You know, many people, this one, for example, one story that they made a movie out of this, you know. It's a story. Don't worry about authenticity and all these things, authentic, all that. That's not even important, right? The fact is that this has happened many times, and many people. Right? One person, a Christian, who became a Muslim, who wanted to marry a Muslim woman, became a Muslim, right? Some village. And then, you know, he for example, had a vision where he saw someone calling for help. And he kept on repeating this, Hal min nasirin yansuruna. And he was like, he said, I saw this dream and, you know, this vision of this man. He's saying this statement. Who is this guy? I mean, who is this person? And he's like, I see him and I am just enchanted by him. I am enchanted by him. I see him. You know, so they, you know, I mean, afterwards he found out that this is Hussein ibn Ali. He's the grandson of the Prophet and he's going against Yazid and all of those things. And, you know, he says, I want to go and find out myself. And he went in search for him. Make the story short, he reached Karbala, but he reached it on the afternoon of Ashura and everything was done. Everything was done, the tents were burnt, you know, the Shuhada were on the field, you know, and the heads were cut and everything was done. He saw everything there. And, you know, it was told, I mean, he was told that, listen, you know, really, after that, he went back home. He went back home and they asked him, so, what did you find there? Did you find what you were looking for? Because he said he's enchanted by this beautiful person. He went after it, he saw it, and you know what? He saw this scene. He is now speaking about this. They said, you went to look for the truth. Did you find it? How did you find the truth? I mean, how was it? How was it? You know, and in his view, the reason he went there for that, you know, because when at that moment he met this lady, one of the ladies there, he met the lady and she came up to him and says, go and tell others what happened to us. Go and tell others now. You don't need to give your life. Go and tell others. And so he came back and he was thinking, how can I give this to others? So they asked him, how did you find the truth? How was it? Tell us, how was it? He says, I found the truth. He says, how was it? The truth was lying in the desert of Karbala. The truth was on top of a spear. That's how it was. You know, he painted it for them in a way that people can visualize it and come close to it. My friends, Karbala in every aspect is so beautiful. It appeals to our sense of beauty. And we are enamored by it. And now we have to become that artist that is going to take this beautiful thing and give it to the world and to present it to the world. And this is where we are going with this. And understand this. Ali Akbar. You know, he was someone who was so attractive and so adorable and so beautiful that if anyone knows a person like that in his friend circle or in his family, he's someone who brings brightness in any gathering and in any household. Ali Akbar was a person that, not just a normal kid, he was a person that if he was there in our gathering, he would enlighten the gathering. In fact, he would make it so exciting that we would never get bored, that we will never feel bored. That's why Ali Akbar was so attractive that the caravan, when they left Medina, went to Mecca, and from there they came all the way to Karbala. It is said that none of the ladies ever felt any sort of tiredness in the journey because Ali Akbar was with them. Every time anyone would feel tired, they would just look at Ali Akbar, call Ali Akbar. Ali Akbar would spend some time with them, and all of a sudden they'll be like jovial and happy. He was that person that, you know, when you get used to him, it's difficult. It's difficult to let go of him. It's difficult to let go of someone like that. He was so beautiful. And those people who knew him, really, for them it was very difficult. It was difficult, right? You just can't let go of a person like that. And that's why, you see, Imam Hussein as a father, you know, it's one thing that he's letting go of him, but it wasn't that easy. It wasn't that easy. Not because he's his father, but because Ali Akbar was special. He was someone special that Allah gave to him. You know, I'm just going to make it short and give you this relationship, my friends. You know, make you understand this relationship. You know, Imam Hussein, Allah made him go through many tragedies before Karbala. He made him go through many tragedies since he was a kid, since he was a child. Imam Hussein went through a lot. The first tragedy that Imam Hussein saw was the death of Rasulullah. That was really a blow for Imam Hussein. Imam Hussein was so close to Rasulullah that when Rasulullah was dying, it is said that Imam Hussein was lying on his chest. He was clinging to his chest, and Imam Ali came to pick up Imam Hussein, and Rasulullah said to Ali that, Ali, let him be. Let him be there. And Imam Ali said, but Ya Rasulullah, your advice is to take the weight of the chest of a dying person so he can breathe easy. Rasulullah said, Ali, Hussein is my comfort. Having Hussein on my chest makes me comfortable. When Rasulullah left, Imam Hussein, really it was a blow for Imam Hussein. And then soon after that, Bibi Fatima left. And that was hard for Imam Hussein. It was so hard for Hussein that Hussein stopped speaking. He didn't speak. Imam Ali, when Bibi Fatima was there, Imam Ali said that, my son, what happened? You are not going and being farewell to your mother. Imam Hussein said, she's special for me. I'm special for her. I'm like Isa to Maryam. When Maryam was dying, she called out to Isa, and Isa then went, I want my mother to call out. So it said that Fatima called out, Ya Bunayya, said. But she called out, Imam Hussein went to her. Imam Hussein, really, that was hard for Imam Hussein. And then after that, Imam Hussein, the third blow that he had was the death of his father, Imam Ali. When Imam Ali died, really, everything that belonged to Imam Hussein's childhood was taken away by Allah. Everything that belonged to him. When Imam Ali died, Hussein was just walking around without any hope, without any objective. He was just walking around saying, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali. He was in such a state of grief of losing his father Hussein. And you see, Allah took the three people that Imam Hussein loved the most from his life, took them away from him. But when Allah took it away from them, it was such hard on Imam Hussein. Obviously, Allah wanted to replace that. When He took Imam Ali, and Imam Ali died, the same year, Allah replaced Rasulullah, Bibi Fatima, and Imam Ali, and He replaced all three of them with a son that Imam Hussein called Ali Akbar. Ali Akbar was born in the year that Imam Ali died. When Ali Akbar was born, Hussein poured everything that he has of love into Ali Akbar. He loved Ali Akbar so much. He showered so much love on Ali Akbar that it was a lifetime's worth of love. He was going through this pain. Now you can imagine when Ali Akbar came to him and said, "Father, allow me to go to the battlefield." Hussein now looks at Ali Akbar and without any hesitation and said, "Ali Akbar, I know our relationship, and I know how special you are to me, and I know reason why Allah gave you to me, so you can replace all those injuries that I went through in my young life. I know that, but you belong to him, not me. You belong to him. So my son, go." When Ali Akbar started going, right away Imam Hussein said, "Ali Akbar, where are you going?" "Father, you allowed me to go." He says, "Not like this, my son. Go and seek farewell from your mother. Go and seek farewell from Zainab." And then, my friends, when Ali Akbar actually went to the battlefield, I'm making it short so that you can really see this relationship that I built for you and where it came and how hard was it for Hussein. You know, Imam Hussein, in this journey of Karbala, when they left Medina, after they left Medina all the way to Karbala, how many months was that? All these months, you see, there was a way that Imam Hussein had. Before that, whenever Ali Akbar would come around Imam Hussein, anytime he would come around Imam Hussein, ask for something, ask a question or anything like that, Imam Hussein right away would kiss Ali Akbar. He would kiss Ali Akbar. But from the time they left Medina, went to Makkah, and from Makkah to Karbala, not once did Imam Hussein kiss Ali Akbar. Not once did he kiss Ali Akbar. You know why? Because when he went and he wanted, as a father, to show his love and kiss Ali Akbar, he would see Qasim looking from the other side. He would see some orphan looking there. He would stop himself and he would not make them feel bad by showing his love for Ali Akbar, that they are orphans and that they should feel bad in front of Imam Hussein and Ali Akbar. Imam Hussein did not show love to Ali Akbar. He did not kiss Ali Akbar. You know, as a father and as someone who has a son like Ali Akbar, you would want to kiss him. You know, when Imam Hussein found that time, when he found that excuse, when Ali Akbar came back from the battlefield, and Imam Hussein asked him, "Ali Akbar, why did you come back? Why did you come back?" Ali Akbar said, you know what he said? He said, "Father, if I had some water, I would show them. I would show them how strong and how brave I am. But these people don't want to fight me. They're running away from me. I want to go after them. But if I had some water, I would go after them." And then when Imam Hussein heard that, he told Ali Akbar, "Ali Akbar, come close and I will stick my tongue out. And you can take whatever moisture that's on my tongue and you can take that. Use that and then that will give you some energy and go." You know the history. You have heard it many times. Ali Akbar came close to Imam Hussein, and he came close to Imam Hussein and he saw that Imam Hussein's tongue was drier than his own tongue. He was more thirstier. Ali Akbar just looked at that and said, "Father, you're thirstier than I am. Your tongue is drier than mine." My friends, my question is this, and this is it, my friends, and you give your condolences. My question is this: did Imam Hussein know that? Did Imam Hussein know that he did not have anything to offer Ali Akbar? that he did not have any water in his tongue or emotion, then of course Imam Hussein knows that. Then my question, Hussein, why did you mislead your son and brought him close to you, brought him that close to you? You know, as a father he would say that, you know, I wanted to show love to my son, I never had a chance, so I used this excuse to bring him closer. As he came closer, I grabbed his neck and started kissing him. سيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. يا محمود بحق محمد، يا علا بحق علي، يا فاطر السماوات بحق فاطمة، يا محسن بحق حسن، يا قديم الحسان بحق Hussein. Allah give us the tawfiq to be on the right path. Give us the wisdom to understand your guidance. Hasten the reappearance of our Imam. Make us his helper when he comes. وآخر الدعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. Fatima Hussein.
Ya Hussein.
Then you can do it. Okay? Don't worry.
زہرا کی دعا ہے ماتم یہ ماتم کیسے رک جائے.
زہرا کی دعا ہے ماتم یہ ماتم کیسے رک جائے.
کونین کی ہر دولت دے کر اس غم کی حفاظت کرنا ہے. شبیر کے خاطر جینا ہے، شبیر کے خاطر مرنا ہے. یہ جسم رہے یا مٹ جائے، مظلوم کا ماتم کرنا ہے.
یہ جسم رہے یا مٹ جائے، مظلوم کا ماتم کرنا ہے.
زہرا کی تمنا پوری ہو، یہ جان رہے یا مٹ جائے.
زہرا کی دعا ہے ماتم یہ ماتم کیسے رک جائے.
اس پرچم کے عظمت کے لیے عباس نے بازو دے ڈالے. اس پرچم کے عزت کے لیے غازی نے سہے دل پر بھالے. اس پرچم کے مشکیزے سے لپٹے ہیں سکینہ کے نالے.
اس پرچم کے مشکیزے سے لپٹے ہیں سکینہ کے نالے.
عباس علی کا پرچم ہے، یہ پرچم کیسے رک جائے.
زہرا کی دعا ہے ماتم یہ ماتم کیسے رک جائے.
سالار حسینی کیا کہنا، معراج وفا سرتاج وفا. ہر موت تڑپتی ہے اب تک، ساحل سے جو تو پیاسا پلٹا تھا. حکم حسینی جنگ نہ تھی، ہر وار سہا ہر ظلم سہا.
حکم حسینی جنگ نہ تھی، ہر وار سہا ہر ظلم سہا.
زہرا کی دعا ہے ماتم
یہ मातम कैसे रुक जाए या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन
علي علي أكبر ولدي 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 علي 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 أكبر ولدي أكبر ولدي میره و پیامبر خدا حافظ خدا حافظ میره و پیامبر خدا حافظ خدا حافظ reflection of حیدر خدا حافظ everyone خدا حافظ my most precious treasure خدا حافظ خدا حافظ my علی اکبر خدا حافظ خدا حافظ میره و پیامبر خدا حافظ reflection of حیدر خدا حافظ خدا my most precious treasure خدا حافظ my علی اکبر خدا حافظ خدا your turn to live as you come waladi my heart is in pieces waladi all the women and children line up to bid you a farewell waladi your turn to live as you come waladi my heart is in pieces waladi all the women and children lined up to bid you a farewell waladi ali ali akbar waladi ali ali akbar ali ali akbar waladi ali ali akbar waladi ali ali akbar waladi ali ali akbar waladi ali ali akbar Ali Ali Akbar waladi refuge of sakina Khuda hafiz Khuda hafiz refuge of sakina Khuda hafiz Hafiz my most precious treasure Khuda hafiz Khuda hafiz comrade of great Abbas Khuda hafiz Khuda hafiz let me die when you pass Khuda hafiz Khuda curses to the one hiding in waiting to slay my flower Ali oh God may your father never see his flower in this state Waladi curses to the one hiding in waiting to slay my flower Ali oh God may your father never see his flower in this state Waladi Ali Ali Akbar Waladi Ali Ali Waladi Ali Ali Akbar Waladi Ali Ali Akbar Waladi Ali Ali Akbar Waladi Ali Akbar Waladi Ali Ali Akbar Ali Ali Akbar Waladi my beloved youth go Khuda hafiz Khuda my beloved youth go Khuda hafiz Khuda the coolness of my eyes go Khuda hafiz Khuda this is daddy's death and blow Khuda hafiz Khuda hafiz no life with your sorrow Khuda hafiz Wait, let me see your eyes one more time. Let me look at your face one more time. Stand in front of me, my Ali dear. Let me see my Akbar one more time. Wait, let me see your eyes one more time. Let me look at your face one more time. Stand in front of me, my Ali dear. Let me see my Akbar one more time. Ali, Ali, Akbar, waladi. Ali, Ali, Akbar, waladi. Ali, Ali, Akbar. Ali, Ali, Akbar, waladi. Ali, Ali, Akbar, waladi. Ali, Ali, Akbar, waladi. Ali, Ali, Akbar, waladi. From Karbala, Karbala, Karbala to Karbala, Karbala, Karbala. I left my heart in Karbala. From Karbala, Karbala, Karbala to Karbala, Karbala, Karbala. I left my heart in Karbala, 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 Karbala. The luminous moon lighting the way, the rising sun that brightens the day. Heaven without you would be in flame. You're the heaven in Karbala. The luminous moon lighting the way, the rising sun that brightens the day. Heaven without you would be in flame. You're the heaven in Karbala. Your visitors offer you their hands. Enemies will never understand. How can the water lose to the sand? How can the thirst win in Karbala? Why heaven is open, Ya Hussein? Why angels descending, Ya Hussein? Why they are residing in Karbala? Karbala, Karbala, Karbala to Karbala, Karbala, Karbala. I left my heart in Karbala. Karbala, Karbala, Karbala to Karbala, Karbala.
जब रिदा से छिनी मैं सदा देती रही, तू ना आया गाजी। जब रिदा से मैं सदा देती रही, तू ना आया गाजी। जब रिदा से छिनी मैं सदा देती रही, तू ना आया गाजी। आले इमरान ने कहा और जिंदा ने कहा, ये बहन क़ैद हुई, तू ना आया गाजी। जब रिदा से سے چنی میں صدا دیتی رہی تو نہ آیا جب ردا سے چنی میں صدا دیتی تو نہ آیا ہم کو پانی نہ ملے تیری خوشبو تو رہے بازو نہ کٹے چاہے مشکی زاچ دے یہ مگر ہو نہ سکا تیرے بازو ہے جدا مجھ پہ ہے تشنا لبی تو نہ آیا غازی جب ردا سر سے چنی میں صدا دیتی رہی تو نہ آیا دھوپ میں تو تھا شجے تجھ سے آباد تھا گئے ہے برہنا میرا سے کیا نہیں تجھ کو خبر اے علمدار وفا اس بہن کو بخدا تجھ سے دھارستی بڑی تو نہ آیا غازی جب ردا سے چنی میں صدا دیتی رہی تو نہ آیا غازی کیا کہوں شعر میرے بے ردا ہم کو لیے یہ مسلمان سارے شہر در شہر گئے خلقت کوفہ کبھی خلقت شام کبھی اور ہم پہ ہنسی تو نہ آیا غازی جب ردا سے چنی میں صدا دیتی رہی تو نہ آیا قید خانے میں خزاں جب سکینہ کو ملی دیکھ کرتے کا کفن بچی دفنائی گئی اس گھری نام تیرا صورت ناد علی بس میں دوہراتی رہی تو نہ آیا غازی جب ردا سے چنی میں صدا دیتی رہی تو نہ آیا صلوات سلام پہ فاطمہ زہرا صلوات سلام پہ فاطمہ زہرا ہم آئے ہیں پرسے کے لیے فاطمہ زہرا صلوات سلام پہ فاطمہ زہرا صلوات سلام پہ فاطمہ زہرا ہم آئے ہیں پرسے کے لیے فاطمہ زہرا بیڑی پنائے دوری بدن زخمی کر دیا بیڑی پنائے دوری بدن زخمی کر دیا سجاد پہ یہ ظلم کیا فاطمہ زہرا صلوات سلام پہ فاطمہ زہرا صلوات سلام پہ
صلی اللہ علیہ یا رسول اللہ السلام علیکہ نبی اللہ السلام علیکہ امیر المؤمنین وسید الوسین السلام علیکہ یا فاطمة الزہراء سیدۃ نساء العالمین السلام علیکہ یا ابا محمد الحسن ابن علی ایہا المجتبی السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ السلام علیکہ یا ابا عبداللہ الحسین وتسعة المعصومین من ذریة الحسین علیہ السلام وجمیع الشہداء کربلا خصوصا سیدی و مولائی بالفضل العباس ابن امیر المؤمنین السلام علیکم جمیعا ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ السلام علیکم یا غریم الغرباء السلام علیکم یا معین الضعفاء والفقراء السلام علیکم یا شمس الشموس وانیس النفوس غریبا شہیدا مدفونا بارض توس السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ السلام عليك يا صاحب العصر والزمان. السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن. السلام عليك يا إمام الإنس والجان. السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن. عجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله تعالى مخرجك وظهورك وجعلنا من آوانك وأنصارك ورحمة الله وبركاته.